Okay.
Yeah.
If you were a cabal of sort of permanent Washington, you're not up for election. You don't come, you don't get termed out. You're just there.
Yeah.
And you're this cabal. And someone like Trump comes down the pike or Bobby, and you go, oh, no, we need someone we can control. We need an empty vessel to come down who either is an empty vessel or understands how this works.
Right.
And then they come in. And so we all sit around and we think, oh, that person's the head coach, so he's making all the calls for the team. But no, the GM up in the skybox has an empty vessel, and he's calling all the plays. We just think it's the coach doing it. So Biden is an empty vessel, and Kamala Harris is an empty vessel.
Correct.
And so you go, is Kamala Harris scary? Is Joe Biden scary? And the answer is, they themselves are not scary, but they're being used as a conduit through people who are scary. Is that kind of the synopsis here?
I think that it has come to head that this group of people has hedged their bets to protect their own interests so successfully that there's nobody left to mount any critical thinking within that group. And I looked for the critical thinkers. I didn't just leave. I had invested so much into this party over my lifetime. I didn't just throw my hands up and say, I'm just going to go independent.
Right.
No, I tried. I tried for years to try to figure out how things were actually being run, why there wasn't anyone talking about childhood chronic disease, why, when I wanted to talk about regenerative agriculture, the only time I could get time with Chuck Schumer was, right before he needed $5 million from me to, mount a Senate campaign in that Georgia runoff. And so, you ask yourself in this situation, you ask yourself first, is it just because what I'm saying is not important and they're so busy doing other important things?
Right.
So I asked myself that. And then I started looking and I'm like, they're not doing the other important things. I cannot find any evidence that they're, working on nuclear de-escalation. They're just sending more money to Ukraine, and they seem to be spending a huge amount of time with these BlackRock people who are now setting up offices in Ukraine. Well, so what are they doing? Well, they're gearing up for more fundraising, and they're gearing up to take down Donald Trump. None of this makes any sense to me. Even their messaging on abortion doesn't even make sense. Because the highest court in our nation has said this is now an issue for the states. It's no longer a federal issue. It is out of the hands of the executive office. The Supreme Court has spoken. So they're kind of, not only are they being deceptive, but they're intentionally creating hysteria, and then they're providing false solutions that aren't even something you could accomplish given the current republic that we are in, the rules and the laws and the structure and the way that our republic works. And you ask a good question. Is it evil or is it incompetence? Like, does Kamala Harris not actually understand how economics work? Does Kamala Harris not actually understand what the Supreme Court opinions are dictating? So,
and then Kamala Harris, you go, well, she's going to get rid of fracking, but now she's all right with fracking, and she's going to, trying to think of, border sanctuary states or borders or whatever it is that she's gone back on.
Borders are.
Right. So, okay. Whatever it is, she's walked them all back. But she was whatever she needed to be at the time, and now she needs to be something else. So she isn't anything. She's just nothing. She's whatever gets her elected. So she's talking about joy now and having dance parties when before she was talking about sanctuary cities and ending fracking. She's just whatever, whenever. And Joe Biden is whatever, whenever. And that's why the cabal likes them, because they just tell them what to do.